The true tests of good governance and leadership at the ministerial level is the degree to which the federal ministries deliver on their promise of rapid, progressive economic growth, political and social infrastructural development of the country. Let's bring to your knowledge their latest scorecard on the Ministers platform. You're welcome. Let's now bring you a comprehensive and detailed news update across federal ministries on Ministry News. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, has disclosed that at the backdrop of the rising fiscal deficit and debt burden, the federal government is taking steps to offer some of its assets for sale through equity investments while raising revenue through road tolls, with the assets value at over 30 trillion naira held in over 60 enterprises and agencies. The minister will disclose this at the 2023 budget breakdown in Abuja recently, noted that to effectively execute this agenda, the Ministry of Finance Incorporated has been reinvigorated with a board of its own to make it more responsive to its mandate.
The budget deficit is to be financed mainly by domestic borrowing as well as foreign borrowing. The total debt portfolio of our country today is at $102 billion US. 35% is foreign, 65% is domestic.
The Federal Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, has assured that with the signing into law of the Nigeria Startups Bill, the federal government has assured that its legal framework will protect youths in the innovative sector against harassment and other abuses. The minister gave this assurance while briefing State House correspondents on the Nigeria Startups Act 2022, which was signed by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Thursday. Pantami also said that the new act will establish the National Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Council, which will be chaired by the President.
So there is going to be a council, and this council is going to be chaired by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the Vice Chair is going to be the Vice President of Nigeria. And the Minister in charge of communications and digital economy will preside over the council in the absence of President and the Vice President. And all the institutions that have a role to play in providing the enabling environment for our young startups and our young innovators are members of that council.
The Minister of Water Resources, Sulaiman Adamu, has stated that the Lagbo Dam in Cameroon was not responsible for the national disaster currently ravaging many parts of the country, contrary to the widely held insinuation. The minister, who stated this while defending the 2023 budget of his ministry before the Senate Committee on Water Resources, also argued that the contribution from the dam to Nigeria was only 1%, noting that the tributaries of River Benue are the main cause.
We have had some experiences here that have not been pleasant. There are some strategic projects that are under the National Water Resources Master Plan that we tried to initiate in the last 2 years, but when we proposed for appropriation, we didn't get it.
The Rural Electrification Agency of the Federal Ministry of Power has presented solar-powered irrigation water pumping equipment to over 200 farmers across Ondo State in a bid to boost food production in the state. This was disclosed in a statement issued Tuesday by the communication officer of the Fadama 3 in the state. The equipment was presented to the beneficiaries as part of the 2022 World Food Day celebration. The Federal Minister of Trade and Investment, Otumba Niyi Adebayo, has disclosed that the federal government may exclude micro, small and medium enterprises from the recently reintroduced 10 naira per litre excise duty for carbonated drinks. The minister will disclose these at the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria Export Promotion Group annual general meeting in Lagos on Thursday. Noted that the ministry was open to engaging the relevant agencies of government in order to eliminate the bottleneck confronting the productive sector. The Federal Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, noted on Thursday in Abuja that President Muhammadu Buhari has delivered on his housing promise and created more than 29,300 jobs in the process. The minister made the declaration at a program to mark the 2022 World Habitat Day with a theme, Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Behind. He said the ministry's national housing program had provided houses that could be seen, but there were also human empowerment stories behind the buildings. The Director, Southwest Federal Minister of Works and Housing, Adedamola Kuti, has said that both inward and outward sectors of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will be completed on or before December 2022. Speaking to media men in Lagos, Kuti said that traffic gridlock in the area was normal and will last till the end of the ongoing construction on the busy road. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, on Thursday warned that the federal government will no longer tolerate strike that does not follow due process by any union during the transition period of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. The minister issued the warning shortly after receiving an award of excellence conferred on him by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors at the 42nd Annual General Meeting Scientific Conference of the association. And finally, from Ministry News, the Ministry of Sports and Youth Development has reacted to the protest held by para-athletes over their exclusion from the 2022 National Sports Festival. The ministry condemned the public disturbances and the disruption of the peace caused by demonstrators. According to the statement, the ministry said it had already approved the steps necessary for more inclusion of para-athletes in its sports timetable. As a critical strategic office in the chain of command and authority in governance, what's new from the office of Mr. President? Let's find out from the presidency. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday received officials of Siemens Energy AG at the State House, Abuja, with regards to the collaboration and partnership between Nigeria and Siemens and German government to improve electricity generation in the country. The president urged them not to relent in ensuring that the government's commitment to Nigerians in delivering the Presidential Power Initiative PPI is fulfilled.
The German government, through the former Chancellor Angela Merkel, graciously committed to support us in this regard, and we subsequently signed a memorandum of understanding with Siemens. I have been reliably assured that 10 power transformers and 10 mobile substations will be delivered and installed by May 2023. This is in spite of production challenges and constraints due to coronavirus pandemic that has severely impacted global production and supply chain.
President Muhammadu Buhari has conferred awards on former President Goodluck Jonathan and 43 other prominent Nigerians under the Nigeria Excellence Award in Public Service. The event, which took place in the conference room of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, also saw 16 state governors, including Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, and service chiefs honored with various awards for their services.
I am particularly happy to recognize His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, my predecessor, for his contribution to peace building from the Niger Delta region, which was snowballed into the nation and now around the world. Since leaving office, he has deployed his rich experience to ensure peace in many parts of Africa and has led mediation talks in several parts of the globe.
President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed a replacement for Effiong Oka, who has just been sacked as the interim administrator of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC). In his place, Emmanuel Audu Owabovorua, a director in the Delta State Office of the NDDC, has been asked to take over the running of the commission, pending the setting up of a new management team and a governing board. The development was contained in the letter dated 20th of October from the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Umana. President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed a new Chief Medical Director, CMD, for the Jos University Teaching Hospital, JUT. The newly appointed medical director is Dr. Pokop Bupwatda. The appointment is contained in a statement issued on Thursday by Mr. Amadu Chindaya, the Deputy Director of Media and Public Relations Unit of the Federal Ministry of Health. And finally, from the presidency, President Muhammadu Buhari has joined the government and people of Ekiti State in mourning the passing of the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Mr. Fuminiyi Afuye, who died on Wednesday in Ado-Ekiti at the age of 66 years. President Muhammadu Buhari said the late Speaker had distinguished himself as a key soldier for democracy and was widely admired as a humble grassroots political leader who relentlessly championed the interests of his people. The Ministry of Interior has witnessed pragmatic and proactive leadership to position it to actualize its set objectives. Let's talk with the Honorable Minister of Interior and find out the realities, challenges, and efforts. Let's look at the capacity building programs by your ministry to actually ensure productivity and efficiency.
First of all, let's talk about recruitment. We have computerized everything about recruitment, from application to screening to ultimate appointment is computerized. On capacity building, there is a board in charge of all the agencies that we have: Fire, Civil Defense, Immigration, and Correctional Service Board. The board is responsible for all of these: recruitment, promotion, discipline, and development programs for capacity building through the board. The agencies to do such things on their own, but the board is at top of that, ensuring that training, capacity building, and exposure to world best practices are effectively done. We are reviewing the curriculum of study in all the training institutions. And I want to believe that nothing is being spared to motivate our staff, our personnel, particularly at the agency level. We are doing our best.
During your Salah message, you said Nigerians should also be very cautious and also help the security agencies. Because in the UK, in the US, you find that each citizen is ready to give out information about insecurity, about threat to the necessary agencies. Do you think it will be proper or adequate to launch a serious campaign to awaken the consciousness of Nigerians to also be very security conscious?
The elimination or discouragement of ethnic profiling. We don't just agree that we want to build a nation. Difficult, but we should accept that it's in our interest that a nation is built from Nigeria. It's unfortunate that in the inner recess of most Nigerian elite, that consciousness is lacking. There is no doubt we need the support of all to secure ourselves, property, and our space. Without the people, the limited number of security operatives we have cannot do anything. What is called architecture of security is a pyramid. At the very base of that pyramid are the people who must support all the other essential segments of that pyramid. Without the people ready and willing to expose whoever threatens their security, there is nothing the other segments can do. At the apex of that pyramid is the military. When crisis gets to insurrectional stage, then the military will come, and that's why they are the apex of the security pyramid. So the people must understand why they cannot detach themselves from other segments, namely vigilante group cooperating with police and civil defense cooperating with themselves, working together to douse threats before they get out of hand. So if we all understand this, honestly speaking, there will not be any threat anywhere. I just hope and I believe that the media will drop the gap of adversarial journalism. If you just know that we are building democracy and that democracy is just a tool for development. Development means engagement of all, mobilization of all to take us step by step through the ladder of development and support and cooperate with all those who are engaged in that effort. Yes, chastise whoever is getting out of line. I am not saying you should tolerate people who are not committed to development. I'm not saying so. I'm saying that journalism must first of all be committed to developing the people and ensuring that their conditions of living are better. So to that extent, I want to appeal to our media, from the practitioners to the management, to please support a developmental campaign that will bring us to our historic role and height in this continent and the world.
Ministry of Interior has a strategic role to play in the security architecture of the country. So Nigerians would like to know how effectively has your ministry actually lived up to the expectation of Nigerians with regards to internal security, which is actually a major core of your mandate, considering the high level of insecurity.
I will respond by telling you that we know clearly that we are the major organ of the state in charge of internal security. But we need the support of all the other important agencies to ensure that the security of Nigerians, their property, and even the space itself is guaranteed. To achieve that objective of adequate security, we need the buy-in and the support of all the security and intelligence forces. To the best of my knowledge, we have been having a wonderful synergy with all those agencies. Yes, Nigerians are sadly not having the best that we want ourselves. But it is not without effort on our part. It's just that you get these sort of disappointments even in the best that you put forward. The assurance I want to give to Nigerians is so simple. we are not relenting. We are committed to securing lives and property. And I'm assuring Nigerians that the past is gone. We are turning a new leaf, and before the end of this year, before December, God willing, we are going to have a better security condition. We are working with the military, we are working with the police, and we are equally using our own agencies, coupled with the intelligence organizations, the SSS, the DSS, and all the other agencies that I will not want to mention. We are confident that we will put the challenges that we have now behind us.
Can you tell us what is so challenging about internal security, especially with a country like Nigeria?
The real problem is not with the enemies of the state. For the enemies of the state, we can really deal with them and put them quickly behind us. But the elite in Nigeria are not too conscious of what their role should be and how they should rally around government to manage some of the crisis which some elements exploit to disturb our peace. Is there any society without conflict? It can only be in heaven. There is none. But what to have in those societies where the conflict do not snowball into major crisis is agreement with themselves first and the state authority government not to celebrate the conflict. If our elites are going to be honest with themselves, they will know clearly it's not about failure of effort. It's about ourselves not wanting to accept roles that will support the government to exterminate the crisis that we have. And let me tell you something. Before the advent of our administration, President Muhammadu Buhari administration, I don't think there was any local government in Borno that was something like the occupation of the insurgents. Today, not 1 inch, square inch of Northeast is under the control of any insurgent. So I will reduce problems or the challenges around the crisis we have to lack of consensus among the elite of Nigerians to really support government to suppress and eliminate these things.
Thank you very much, Minister. Recently, you were in Port Harcourt. You were quite bothered about the racketeering of e-passport. You've actually expressed your position, really, when it has to do with this passport issue. What are the significant innovative areas in terms of improving in the design, security features, production, and issuance of the Nigerian e-passport document? Are there challenges with regards to availability? Because it's an issue. Recently, you cleared the air and said, look, we have enough. We're also talking about accessibility and affordability, both locally and international. Maybe you want to shed light on this.
Thank you for bringing this up. That is one area that have actually devoted a lot of my time, because I know that if there be a legacy that will be quite enduring and visible, yes, it is in passport administration. So I'm very much committed to it. And we have done quite a lot. We have transformed passport issuance administration so significantly. And I hope Nigerians listening to me will support us by simply shunning any attraction to a third party in passport application. You don't need it. You can process your passport application either for a new passport or a renewal of the one you already have by yourself. It does not take 5 minutes to apply digitally online using any internet-enabled device. Pay online. You will instantly have your appointment slip online, which you can print out. And on that appointment slip is everything you need to take to your enrollment center. What's the enrollment center? And we're going to have very many very soon. We are working on having very many. The challenge today and why we still have some complaints is that the volume of applicants, people that will have to go through the passport control offices, is huge. by the time we really liberalize, we open up enrollment centers in such a way that there will be no congestion, there will be no pressure. The date and time you will go for data capture. What is data capture? Data capture is, one, synchronizing details on your application form with what you have in your NIMC NIN document. So, if your name is arranged such a way that it does not rhyme with what you have on your NIMC record for NIN, you will not be captured. Two, we will equally take your fingerprints, which must be the same with what you have on the NIMC database, and your facial photograph, which must be taken there. So when all the essential biodata is taken and harmonized, then you wait for 3 weeks if your request for renewal or reissue, and 6 weeks maximum if you want a fresh passport. The desperation you put yourself through will lead you to scammers, to racketeers, and people will simply exploit you. At every passport processing office in Nigeria, we have enough passport booklet. Look at what I've lined out. Is it possible for us to exhaust what we have? It's just simply impossible. But the exploiter ring, I don't want to call it criminal ring, around this process is almost at an industrial level. So we need the support of Nigerians to first of all abandon them. Believe me, that they don't need anybody. And that once there is general understanding of that, the game will be up for the scammers. I'm assuring Nigerians that there is no shortage of booklet. Wherever and whenever such argument is given, tell whoever says that to you that you are a scammer. And that you have no business being where you are. Whoever that person is, tell him that the Minister of Interior has said that there is no shortage of booklet for passport processing in Nigeria. We just have difficult, dirty, and irresponsible people who want to mess up our well-designed, well-implemented, and by the grace of God, well-executed innovation to ease passport processing.
With the expiration of this administration in 2023, what are the legacies you are leaving behind, and what are the projected plans, for the limited period for the various agencies under your ministry to also position them for efficiency?
We are working on innovation. There can't be an end to innovation. Reducing human-to-human contact in virtually everything we do will be the best for all of us. The human beings are complex entities. You can't be sure what we can do when interests conflict with duty. So the projection is we will not relent in seeking solution to every operation we do here that will reduce person-to-person contact. As to legacy, that is not my own duty. It's the duty of history. Let history judge what I do or what I fail to do. But I'm satisfied that I'm passionately committed to ensuring that our mandate of safety, security, and citizenship integrity are pursued with vigor and passion.
On a final note, as a passing shot, what's your word of encouragement and assurance to all Nigerians in diaspora, the diplomatic community, and other stakeholders for an efficient, progressive ministry?
Well, simple. We shall not leave any stone unturned to ensure that the safety of Nigerians, security of their lives and property, and integrity of their citizenship are not compromised. In doing it, we appeal to our citizens, to our people, to support us by whatever way and means possible. Consular visa processing is being digitized for businesses, bringing in partners. You don't need to wait endlessly to get visa. Apply online for visa on arrival, and you get it. We launched a Nigerian visa policy which changed the categories of visa from 6 to 79. It's a work-based, profession-based, operation-based. We partnered with some Nigerian private companies to have visa processing centers worldwide. As for business men and women in Nigeria, if you are bringing your foreign partners, you don't need to endlessly wait at the embassy for visa. Apply online for your visa on arrival, and your partners can come in at will. And we expect you to live up to all the obligations, immigration responsibilities of such visitors. Do not keep them beyond the period they are allowed to stay. And should you need any other service or operation, please feel free to meet us at our various offices in the Immigration Service.
Federal Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, on the Ministers platform. Thank you very much for being with us, and we want to wish you all the best in your endeavor. To be honest, you've actually struck a chord, and if you don't even want to talk about your legacies are there to be proud of because of the revolutionary change you've brought to internal security in the country. Thank you, sir.
I'm very grateful. Thank you.
But that's it on Talking with the Minister, speaking with the Federal Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. He has been able to very systematically helped us to understand and appreciate the great efforts of this ministry because for him, digitization of the operations of the ministry has been at the core level of ensuring efficiency and acceptability, of course, world best practices, all in the name to ensure that the Ministry of Interior is well positioned. Thank you for watching. The Ministers platform will continue in a moment. On our ministry agencies and Parastatals in Focus segment this week, we're bringing you facts you need to know about the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC. The federal government created the Federal Road Safety Commission on the 17th of February 1988 through Decree number 45 of the 1988 as amended by Decree 35 of 1992 passed by the National Assembly as Federal Road Safety Commission Establishment Act 2007. The statutory responsibilities of the FRSC are preventing and minimizing accidents on the highway, clearing obstructions on any part of the highways, educating drivers, motorists, and other members of the public generally on the proper use of the highways, designing and producing the driver's license to be used by various categories of vehicle operators, recommended works and devices designed to eliminate or minimize accident on the highways, and advising the federal and state governments, including the Federal Capital Territory Administration and relevant governmental agencies, on the localities where such works and devices are required, determining and producing the driver's license to be used by various categories of vehicle operators, standardization of highway traffic codes, giving prompt attention and care to victims of accidents, conducting researches into causes of motor accidents and methods of preventing them, and putting into use the result of such researches, regulating the use of motorcycles on the highways, regulating the use of seat belts and other safety devices, regulating the use of mobile phones by motorists, providing roadside and mobile clinics for the treatment of accident victims free of charge. The power of the FRSC includes arresting any person suspected of having committed an offense, remove and detain any illegally parked vehicle, endorse driver's license, if found guilty of offense, seize the driver's license of any person suspected to have committed an offense, or the documents or particulars in respect of vehicles. Impound a vehicle suspected to have been stolen, where the driver fails to produce the particulars of the vehicle, and declare an offender as wanted when he fails to report to answer charge against him. The Federal Road Safety Commission is currently headed by the Corps Marshal Dauda Ali Biu.
The fact that there are no strict laws that governs or guides tenants.
For like 2 years now, and I have not seen one person ask me to pay 1 year.
Yeah, I like this city because of the opportunity, job opportunities. That's why I like the city. And secondly, it's a peaceful city as well.
This is where the center where you have investment and people can buy and sell or do their investment. But if you go to some other states,
to be patriotic, you need to look at what is expected of you. You say it's not that what my country can do for me or what I can do for my country. So by abiding by the rules and regulations of the country, you be patriotic.
Sense of patriotism comes with loyalty on the part of the government. Have you done what you are supposed to do? Have you discharged your duty to me before I can be loyal to you? If the country is one in terms of justice, you can't get patriotism where there's inequity, where there's no justice. You can't.
It's relative. It depends on their orientation, their upbringing, and what the society they belong to offer to them.
Nigerians are patriotic. My own view is that the economy is not doing well. Everybody knows that. But the indices that the economy will do well with are not given to us. Me, as a Nigerian, I love this country more than anywhere in the world. Why I like this country is that an average Nigerian is somebody who wakes up in the morning and know what to do, know why he wants to do something. You see, but the government is not there for us to support our vision.
Our major concern on the Ministries' platform is to x-ray and project the manner by which power is exercised in the management of Nigeria's economic and social resources for the development of the country from the perspective of governance at the ministerial level. Join us again on TV Nigeria for another informative package next week. Remember, think Nigeria.